come to this story now where we look at news once again back home. It is, of course, Youth Day, and Northern Cape Premier Zamani Saul is expected to lead the province's official Youth Day celebration at the OR Abbas Stadium in Kimberley today. Saul is expected to deal with an increasingly despondent youth subjected to a youth unemployment rate that's hovering around 30%. Well, senior reporter Ulrich Hendriks and video journalist Thapelo Kgomotshwane are attending the celebrations in Kimberley. Ulrich, a good morning to you. What's expected to happen today? And hopefully the numbers also will be coming out to commemorate the day.
Hi, good morning, Nairi. Well, we've seen a number of young people already streaming to the stadium. We were just told by security personnel that they're still busy sweeping the stadium. So in the next 10-20 minutes, attendees will be allowed to actually enter the stadium. Of course, as you said, Northern Cape Premier Dr. Zamani Saul expected to address the people here. He'll have his work cut out for him. The very despondent youth, we've got a 30% youth unemployment rate, and as a result, a lot of people dependent on the 350 government grant, people unemployed, people stuck in poverty, and a lot of young people actually also, we spoke to people in the film industry yesterday, were saying that not a lot of support for them, and we get that in other sectors as well. SME is saying that there's not enough government support for them when they go and knock on government doors to basically get employment or to get their business started. But let's talk to the youth. They will have a better idea. Mersha Strays, tell us, what are the issues affecting young people today?
Good morning. Issues that are affecting young people today, it's poverty, mental illness, issues of not going to school, not being able to get bursaries when you need them the most, all those type of things. Even substance abuse. The youth of today, they can't talk about their issues. They rather go and drink and use drugs just to ease the pain. You understand?
So it's Youth Day today. The Premier is the leader of this province is going to make a keynote address. What would you want him to say about those issues that you mentioned?
I would like the Premier to address those issues and tell the youth where to go for help. You understand? Because sometimes the help is there, but people don't know where to go. So different departments, they should say, what are we offering, where to go, how to solve these problems, because we have a whole lot of stakeholders who can assist with those issues. It's just that the youth don't know. So it's for us to go, because I'm also in an NGO. We're also here to come and do awareness of all the services that can assist the youth in all those issues that I mentioned before.
We live in a very digital era, though. Everything is at the touch of your fingertips. Do you think that the youth should also make an extra effort, maybe, to get to those services?
They can. The problem sometimes it will be data, because everything needs data. When you go to Facebook, WhatsApp, the information is there, because most of the NGOs, departments, they have like their platforms where they talk about vacancies, about how to get bursaries, where to go for help with all those social issues. The data part, if they can just have like more Wi-Fi, free Wi-Fi for all of us just to get there, because some of the people who are like in doing all these things, like all these bad things affected by these social issues, they don't even have sometimes phones, they don't have laptops, you understand? So the information can reach them in time. Sometimes you will hear about vacancies and the closing date will be like over. Then you can't go, you understand?
Thank you very much, Master. So, of course, talking about one of the issues that are affecting access to information, and that is the high data prices, and of course access to Wi-Fi, etc. Mr. Williams, according to you, what are you guys struggling with as young people?
Good morning, South Africa. As a young person, I believe that what is really hindering such youth people is like the substance abuse, unemployment, the poverty. But I would always also suggest that as an individual, as a young person, people should not let that hold them back. They would step forward, resources, as my fellow colleague has mentioned, that some people has the information, then they don't have money to go to a certain place, maybe to apply or somewhere, where there's no Wi-Fi access, where there is no resources such as people don't make actually use of libraries no more because it's been torn apart, it's vandalized or something. Like in some areas, you get people that even upcoming children, they don't even have library cards. I mean, if you educate yourself by reading, you're expanding your mindset. I mean, and when I mentioned the unemployment, for me personally, it's a thing of they said maybe there's a vacancy in a newspaper. They would say the age it's 35 and up, then you can't. But if we check in our parliaments, there's people much older than. When you have to retire, it must be 60. But you come out of the varsity, then you expect the person to have experience already. Where would they get that experience? You get what I'm saying? And after 35, where would you get a job? There's a lot of NGOs, people get employed here, and we are thankful for that. And today is like the most important day. Like, people should come, like this event will give you more in a broadened idea of where, what. Here's a lot of NGOs that's going to share information and things like that. And I think as of today, a lot of people would be getting jobs, getting ideas where to start, even to self-employ themselves. And another thing is, we've been hearing, reading and saying there's so much money being put into in our province. And we as youngsters, we are seeing out to say, okay, maybe there's going to be a lot of job creations, but we haven't heard anything. You get what I'm saying? I would love the Premier to give us a more clearer part on that part. Thank
you, Mr. Williams. Of course, talking about the issues that are affecting young people, of course, like they said, a lot of unemployment, access to opportunities, of course. Of course, we saw yesterday Zamani Saul, the Premier, launching media liaison for young people. The Northern Cape government employing 30 young people in the communication department of the Premier. And then also we're looking at a huge number of huge infrastructure deals, the Buchobay Harbour in the Namakwaland area, also the green hydrogen project also in the same area, and that will create a lot of jobs, thousands of jobs. And there's always been the sense from the young people and from everybody in this province that a lot of young people must be employed in those projects, but also people with businesses, young people who have businesses, should have preferential treatment in terms of supplying those projects. Naledi?
Ulrich, thank you so much for bringing us that story. Ulrich Hendriks there, our reporter in the Northern Cape, as they get closer and closer to seeing those Youth Day celebrations led by the Premier Zamani Saul in the province.